Good morning and welcome to day 4 of increasing our inner strength. Increasing inner strength. And when we talk about inner strength, it's all about our place of courage. When we act in ways that we might consider brave. Recently, I was talking to a client who is going through a very difficult challenge in her marriage. And the decision is, and when we start to talk about being a victim or playing a victim, and I mentioned yesterday that this is where we're going in day 4. The decision is, I'm unhappy, I'm unwell. And am I a victim in this situation, or am I playing the victim? In other words, do I need to change how I'm feeling, or do I need to change my environment? Do I need to change inside me, or do I need to change my external circumstances? And this is the challenge whenever we face an obstacle. And often we've heard that happiness is an inside job. And yes, it is. I firmly believe that. But let's just take an example, moving it away from our day-to-day conflicts in the workplace, power struggles with children, chronic illnesses, marriage, marital woes, whatever our challenges might be that we're used to. And let's take it, and hopefully none of us are going through this challenge, but just as an example, back when Hitler was in power, he put Jews in concentration camps. And now we can think about those men and women and children who were in concentration camps. Happiness is an inside job. Is it? Yes, sometimes it is. Sometimes we can just change our viewpoint. We can cultivate contentment. We can cultivate joy. We can change our mind, change how we see the world, change ourselves from the inside, do a lot of self-transformation. And that can benefit our lives. But sometimes we need to change what's outside of us. We need to change where we are in the world to truly be content. And so when we look at being a victim, like the men and women and children who were in concentration camps like Auschwitz and Dachau, those people were victims. They weren't playing the victim, although they could also play the victim in that situation. And we're not really here to have an in-depth conversation about that woe, that tragedy of our shared history in the world. But more the idea of in our natural lives, how do we know when we are a victim and when we need to change our external circumstances, leave a marriage, leave a job, apply more discipline, or get assistance raising children, leave a physical location in the world, move away from our town or city? Or how do we know? So how do we know when we need to change our external circumstances versus changing our internal circumstances? And this is the challenge, and nobody can tell you what you need to do or what you need to change. But this is where meditation, knowing yourself, comes into play. So we'll come into our meditation, and we'll be here maybe for 5-7 minutes in meditation. Feel yourself sinking into your foundation. By now, you've had a chance to explore and experiment with how it feels either seated or laying down. And we'll come into the 3 fundamentals of alignment yoga. The first fundamental is grounding. So feel each part where your body touches the earth. Feel your bones and muscles releasing. And often I'll visualize a cord or a root connecting me into the core of the earth, going through the floor. If you're in an apartment building or you're in the 2nd story of a home, you can imagine this cord, this invisible cord, or this invisible but strong root, moving through space, moving through objects, deep into the core of the earth, connecting you, grounding. The 2nd fundamental, releasing your soft palate. And the soft palate is the dome of the mouth. So our teeth are rooted into the hard palate. So then further back into the mouth, the soft palate, the soft dome of the mouth, releasing this area of the body, and feel that traveling further back into your skull. So this whole plane or this whole floor, almost like a ceiling, becoming broad. The dome of the mouth. Imagine, visualize, sense the dome of the mouth as broad as the ceiling or the roof or the sky that you're under. And the 3rd fundamental asks us to commit to the exhalation or relax the exhalation. So each inhale is authentic, breathing is authentic. And the exhalation is relaxed, complete. So for the next 2 minutes, meditating on the 3 fundamentals: grounding, releasing tension, the roof of the mouth, and fully committing to each exhalation. to mind a challenge in your life. A challenge or a situation with a question mark. And playing over some of the vital scenes of this challenge, past experiences. Allowing your mind to touch on the thoughts, touch on the memories. Noticing in each scene, maybe it's a power struggle with a child, and noticing each scene with a sort of detached awareness. Just objectively noticing parts of the scene. And not necessarily trying to fix anything here, now. There isn't really anything to fix, but the question being, was I acting from a place of empower, of knowing my personal power, my inner strength? Was I acting from a place of a whole heart? And so this might bring up the situation you might be thinking about or meditating about. Might be a challenge with a boss or an employee. Maybe it's a challenge in your current relationship, family. Maybe it's something in your health, working with a doctor. And then from memories of the past, bringing your attention, your awareness into the present. And once again, feel yourself grounded and centered. Reconnecting to who you are in this moment. And then taking on an affirmation or a mantra. I am enough. Repeating this phrase maybe 5 times in your mind now. I am enough. Bringing palms to touch in front of the heart. Thumbs lightly resting on your sternum. And bowing together, Namaste.